Friday Night Fun Net for Friday, September 10th, 2021. Good evening, everybody. It's 8 o'clock. Oh, what the heck? It's 8:03, but who cares? Good evening, everybody. It's 8 o'clock, and welcome to the Friday Night Fun Net on the K9 RFD repeater in Rockford. My name is Jim. My call is K9 GCR. I'm located here in Freeport, and I'll be your net control station this evening. The purpose of having this is what the name implies, to have fun. That's what this hobby of amateur radio is all about, in addition to providing emergency communications if when situation warrants. A secondary purpose of this net is to provide honor and clean police to all amateur radio operators. Everybody's welcome to check in. You do not have to be a member of any club, organization, group, or association to participate in this net. All you need is a valid FCC license. This net meets each and every Friday evening at 8 p.m. This repeater is a PL 114.8 plus offset. You need to have that programmed in your radio in order to have access to the repeater. For those of you who may be using older radios that do not have PL capability, or if the PL on your radio is not working properly, you can check into the Friday Night Fun Net by using the repeater output frequency, the straight 195 simplex. If I hear you, I will nod you and check into the net. That's how Scott K9YI in Monroe that checks in. Oh, and if you're out in the sticks, you can hear the repeater, but you can't get it due to conditions or else you're too far away from it, give me a call on the Friday Night Fun Net Central Hotline. That's area code 815-232-FNFN. 232-3636, local Freeport number. I'll take your check-in over the phone, but try to check it on the radio first. Okay, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to take short time on mobile stations. If you have family time, you're concentrated, you're driving, you got something else going on that you can't stay for the net, we'll take your short time check-ins. If you have traffic, we'll do your traffic right away. After that, we'll take general check-ins. First, we'll take general check-ins from northern Illinois. Next, we'll take general check-ins from southern Wisconsin. After that, we'll take general check-ins from anywhere in northern Illinois or southern Wisconsin. When you check in the state whether or not you have traffic, your traffic consists of breakfast, bike rides, marathons, or whatever. So, okay, we'll do our regular features. We'll do the TechNet portion. If you have questions, are you having a problem with your amplifier, your power supply? What kind of an antenna do you want to put up on your tower? And if you have questions, we'll try to answer them here. Then we'll do the W9 Gene Duncan DX Corner in honor of our late great friend and colleague, Gene Duncan, W9GD, the king of DX. Every time you check this net, you always had a DX report. And we'll do the swap net. If you have lines to buy, sell, trade, or want anything related to the hobbies of amateur radio or computers, we will do that. So, okay, let me reset. The question, this was suggested by Larry, K9KZT. Let's say you're a new ham radio operator, you want to know what kind of equipment. You're going to a ham fest. What are you looking for? Do you have any advice for a new ham who just got his license? Is he looking for a new, for what kind of equipment it is to set up his station? Let's go to a ham fest. You have any suggestions? That's what we will do. I think we had almost a 2.5-hour net last week, and I had a total of 40 check-ins. So we'll see how long we go. We'll see how many check-ins we get. Okay, before we get underway, as everybody knows, tomorrow is the 20th anniversary of the 9/11, the September 11th attacks in our country. New York, Washington, D.C., and the plane crash here in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. At this time, I am going to do a 1-minute, all keys down moment of silence in honor of the victims of the persons who died in September 11th attacks. We will do a 1-minute, all keys down moment of silence now. This is K9GCR with the Friday Night Fun Net on the K9 RFD Repair in Rockford. We just did a 1 minute all keys down moment of silence in memory and in honor of the victims of the September 11, 2001 attacks to our country, those who passed away. Yeah, the 20th anniversary is tomorrow. May they all rest in peace. God bless our police officers, firefighters, paramedics, EMS, civil defense, our members of our military, our Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, National Guard, and reservists. Thank you for your service. Okay, now that the so-called formalities are out of the way, let's get underway. Do we have any short-time mobilizations? I'd like to check in this time. Please go on out.
Alpha 9 Victor Uniform. Michael in Janesville, no traffic.
KD9 HKX, Larry and Roscoe, short time, no traffic.
KD9 QDP, Rick, Rockford, short time, no traffic.
AC9NW, Tom and Roscoe, short time, no traffic.
9 SPJ, Scott and Rockford, short time, no traffic.
Okay, I got 5 stations checking in. If somebody was trying to check in, I just got nothing but noise. 89VU, Mike in Janesville, got you checked in. Thank you for checking in. K9HKX, Larry and Roscoe, I've got you checked in. Thank you for checking in. You have a good evening. You're welcome to recheck in. K9QDP, Rick and Robert, we got you checked in. Thank you for checking in. You're welcome to recheck in too. AC9NW, Tom and Roscoe, I've got you checked in. Thank you for checking in. Have a good evening. You're also welcome to recheck in. N9SPJ, Scott at the beautiful Rock River Yacht Club. I got you checked in, and you have a good evening. Thank you for checking in. Do we have any more short-time mobilizations for the Friday Night Fun Net? Please go now. Okay, I checked in AC9GO. Yeah, that's right. He did say I could put him down. And let's see. I'm also going to put down P9SHG John. His radio equipment broke down, so he's listening to this net on a scanner. He called me earlier today on the hotline. He said he would not be able to check in the net, but he will be listening to the scanner. He said, if you want, I told him, you want, go ahead and put him down. So that's what I'm doing. So, okay. Any more short-time mobilizations for the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Okay, at this time, let's go ahead with general check-ins. At this time, I'll take general check-ins to Northern Illinois with the Friday Night Fun Net. Please call now.
KC9GCR, this is W9JTC. Good evening, Jimmy.
This case on GCR. Sorry about the delay there, but I didn't want to step on anybody who was trying to check in. So I got you checked in, and Jamie will get back to you a few minutes around table. Thank you for checking in. By the way, I am using red and blue ink in honor of September 11th. So, yeah, make sure you fly your flags tomorrow. Fly them at half staff until sunset. That's the part of the flag all there for Patriot Day, September 11th. Okay. Any more general check-ins in Northern Illinois for Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now.
KD9 MED, Mike and Rochelle.
AC9 GOL. K9GZC.
Okay, I'm trying to be careful not to step on anybody when they try to check in. I got 3 more station checks. KD9MED, Mike and Rochelle, who is recording the Friday Night Fun Net for Friday, September 10th, 2021. Whatever time that's posted, you'll be able to listen to it. So more about that later on during the net. K9GOL, Jimmy and Robert have got you checked in. I'll get back to you a few minutes roundtable. Thank you for checking in, Jimmy. K9KZT, Larry and Robert, the King of CW. Hold it. Cold practice every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday nights immediately following the respective nets. Okay. Any more short time at most? No. We're not doing that. Any more general checkers in Northern Illinois with the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now.
AE9JF, Jim and Lowe's Park.
Okay, 89JF, Jim and Lowe's Park have got you checked in. Thank you for checking in. I'll get back to you in a few minutes roundtable. There was another station trying to check in. Other station, come back, please.
KD9MAP, Cary and Rockford.
This is K9GCR, the Friday Night Fun Net on the K9 RFD repeater in Rockford. Transmitting for Friday Night Fun Net, Central and Freeport. K9MAP, okay, Cary, I've got you checked in. I'll get back to you in a few minutes roundtable. Of course, before that, we'll do, I know you have a DX report you want to give us, so we got you checked in. We'll get back to you in a few minutes. Thank you for checking in. Any more general check-ins from Northern Illinois for Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Okay, this is K9GCR, net control of the Friday Night Fun Net. Checking myself in now, so, okay. We will now do general check-ins from Southern Wisconsin. Any general check-ins from Southern Wisconsin would like to check in? Please call now. That's unusual. Well, it's Friday night, fish fry night. That's why. Everybody's at their favorite bar, restaurant, tavern, eating their catfish, buffalo, carp, bullhead, northern pike, walleye, muskie, or crappie. You cheese lovers in the Milwaukee area, you're eating not only your favorite cheese, you're eating your Polish sausages, hot dogs, brats, kielbasa, and Braunschweiger. Those you in the Milwaukee area and the rest of Wisconsin. Okay. At this time, I will take general check-ins from anywhere in Northern Illinois or Southern Wisconsin for the Friday Night Fun Net. Please call now. Okay. We'll get more check-ins later on. Let's go ahead with the traffic. I do have some traffic. Tomorrow morning, our Stevenson County Repeater Association will be holding our monthly in-person meeting. It will take place at a different location than usual. Usually we be at the library, but we're going to be meeting tomorrow morning at Crate Park at Flagstaff Hill. We'll probably be meeting in one of the shelter houses there. Immediately following our meeting, we're going to have a potluck. It's open to all. You do not have to be a member of the Stevenson County Repeater Association to participate. Bring a dish to pass. You can bring your family, your children, your wives, and your grandparents, whoever. Again, this is open to all. Regardless of any club or association, group, or what have you, you're welcome to come. Just bring a dish to pass. Our meeting will begin underway at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, and our potluck will begin underway at high noon. So, like I said, bring a dish to pass. You're welcome. Everybody's welcome to come. Okay. Does anybody else have any traffic you'd like to pass along? Okay. Well, let's go ahead with the TechNet. Are you having a problem with your power supply or amplifier? What kind of an antenna do you want to put up on your tower? Do you try to ask your technical questions? We'll try to answer them for you. Does anybody have any technical questions they'd like to bring up at this time? Please go ahead. Okay, no technical questions. We'll go ahead with the W9 Gene Duncan DX corners in honor of our late great friend and colleague Gene Duncan, W9GD, the king of DX. Every time you had a DX report, every time you checked in, I should say, you always had a DX report. Okay, Kerry, K9MAP, I knew you mentioned during one of the nets, the Elton Tech net, you had something for the DX corner, so go ahead and give it to us, please.
This is KD9MAP. Thanks, Jimmy. Good evening, everybody. It was a spectacular week for DX. I worked Sunday through Wednesday, a total of, 62 QSO, something like that. Worked 25 different countries in that time. Wednesday night in particular, I had a 1 hour stretch where I worked 10 different countries. Brief reset. So I decided to take Thursday and Friday off and leave some DX for everybody else to work. During Wednesday night's sprint there, I managed to work Ghana, 9G5FI, the African country of Ghana. And I've been playing footsie with that guy all year, and this is the first time where we could both hear each other at the same time. I'm very proud of it. He's confirmed already. KD9MAP.
That is great, Gary. You worked 9G5FI in Ghana. That's great. You guys had a great stretch. Well, you deserve a couple days off once in a while. 25 countries and Wednesday you had a banner night, so that is really good. That's really good. Anything else, or is that it?
No, that's the only thing that was notable. I hope folks got on their rigs this week and experienced some of it. I think the sunspot number got up over 150 for a while. You know, I was thinking about diving into the basement there for a while. With all the solar radiation we were getting. KD9MAP.
Sounds good, Gary. Hey, you're welcome to come to our picnic tomorrow. You're not doing anything? Round up some grub or something, come on over. So that goes for everybody else. You're not doing anything tomorrow? Just hop in the car, drive over to Freeport to Creek Park. Again, our potluck will get underway at 12 noon, immediately following the conclusion of the Stevenson County Repeater Association monthly in-person meeting. Okay, thanks for your DX report, Kerry. We'll get back to you in a few minutes roundtable. Does any other station have any DX reports they'd like to pass along? Let me get all my papers straight. Okay, as usual, we always check in the W9GD in our latest W9GD. Maybe Gary, who now holds that call, maybe he'll check in later on during the net. But as far as we're concerned, that will always be Gene Duncan's old call, W9GD, the king of DX. All right, let's go ahead with the swap net. All items to be bought, sold, or traded must be related to hobbies of RAM traded or computers. All items to be bought, sold, or traded must be the property of or possession of the person who wants to get rid of the stuff. You may mention the prices over the air, but any haggling should be done either in person or over the telephone. Also, no commercial business of any kind is allowed. Does anybody have any swap net traffic they'd like to pass along? Okay, and that's moving right night. So, okay, sounds good. We'll be doing, we have a swap net during the Monday night rah-rah info. And then, of course, Wednesday evenings here in Freeport on the 147.390 repeater, the PL 114.8 plus all said we have our Wednesday evening swap net. It runs from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. to all traffic is handled. I think I had only 6 check-ins this past Wednesday, and that's what's going on here. So I've been filling his net control. So hopefully Mel N9 RPN was a beautiful West D Wills will go home safe and sound there. He'll be bringing us Amps Radio News Line, 15-minute independent news broadcast devoted entirely to Amps Radio. Okay, let's move on. Do we have any more stations? I'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net this time from anywhere. Please call now. Okay, we're a young person just got his ham radio license, especially a younger ham. He's going to a ham fest to look for equipment. What do you think? What do you have any suggestions for this young ham? And what kind of equipment should he get at a ham fest? W9JTC Jamie, what do you say?
Well, good evening, Jimmy, and everybody on the net, W9JTC. First ham, boy, that'd be tough, you know. I think for me, my first radio, I was lucky. The wife actually bought me my first radio. It was an HT. It was a Kenwood TH22AT, and I really liked that radio. That was a decent one. So, you know, I don't know. It's in this day and age, you get them in an HT. You recommend an HT, they're going to get bored because they can't get out very far, and then they're going to lose interest. But it's a good start. An HT or a mobile or something like that, try to get them started and so forth. But I don't know. I think that would probably be my recommendation, and try to mentor them as best you could. Try to Elmer them through. Anyway, Jimmy, that's all I've got. Good topic, sir. Back to you, W9JTC.
Well, thank you, Jamie. I didn't know if I was even going to have a topic tonight. I thought about maybe just going into just a regular roundtable, but Larry, K9 and KZT suggested that to me, so I thought we'll just go ahead. I was thinking about maybe getting an HG myself before when I first got licensed back in 2004, but I think you have a good point. You get them an HG, they probably would lose interest. Yeah, your best bet if you have enough money, buy your a new mobile unit with a power supply and an antenna. That's what I ended up getting. So back in 2004. Okay, thanks for Jamie for checking and bringing in that report. So whatever. KD9MED Mike down in Rochelle, who's recording this net for future broadcasts on the Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page. What do you suggest to a young ham who just got his license? What kind of equipment should he get first? Mobile unit, power supply, or watt meter, or what?
That's a good question there, Jimmy. KD9MED here. I would say start out basic, but definitely do your homework. Do a lot of reviews and have a look at what you're after. Maybe do what I did. You know, I kind of wanted to be traditional and just do CW, so I just stuck with rigs that can do CW on all bands. So really just you have to ask yourself what you want to do with your ham radio hobby, or where you want to go with it in the future, and then expand from there. It's KD9MED, back to net.
There you go. That sounds like a good idea. Hopefully some of the younger listeners, younger hands who haven't even gotten their licenses yet, but thinking about studying for them, are listening to this on their scanners. I think that sounds like a good idea. Okay, Mike, thank you for checking in, and great job recording these nets as usual. So, okay. KC9GOL, Jimmy in Rockford. What do you suggest to the young ham who wants to get started buying his first piece of equipment there? What do you say?
Well,
Well, I guess what I'd say is if you're going to buy a handheld, buy one that's 7 or 8 watts of power. But I would think a better deal would be to get a mobile rig and then buy a rechargeable battery so that you can have it in the house and use it in case of a storm, or have it portable out in the field. As for whether we're going to do CW or sideband, I mean, if you're going to do CW, there's a lot of kits out there that you can buy that do 2 watts, 5 watts, and hopefully you can build yourself a transistor amplifier if you need it. As for, when you go from there, are you going to go with a tube rig, which is an older rig? There's some out there that are excellent. And then you've got the transistorized stuff that you may not have as much trouble, but the tube equipment is a heck of a lot more forgiving with SWR than any of the transistor equipment. So this is KC9GOL, back to net.
That sounds good, Jim, and thank you very much for bringing that. That definitely sounds like a good idea, too. Okay, thank you for checking in and bringing in adding your input there. Let's see, K9KZT. Okay, Larry, you suggested this topic, and I'm running with it there. Okay, what do you say, Larry?
Well, K9KZT here. Since we've got a ham fest coming up in a week, I think that's an excellent place for people to go and shop. And I would suggest somebody new get some test equipment. And I know new hams usually don't have a whole lot of money to spend on the hobby. And what they do have, they want to put in watts in the air or new antenna or stuff like that for communication. But at a ham fest, you might very well find some test equipment that's practically given away. And I would say the first thing you get is a VOM, that's volts, ohms, milliammeters, or sometimes called a multimeter. And some of them measure capacitance and frequency and everything like that. You can also buy them at Lowe's or Home Depot or stuff like that. They've got them there. But at a ham fest, they're going to be cheap probably. And, just bring them when you want to check it out. Just set the thing onto the ohms range and connect the two leads together, the black and the red, and it should move the needle. And if it doesn't, well, maybe pass on that because there's something wrong. It's an instant check. I would get one of those instead of VTVM, as they used to call them, vacuum tube voltmeter, or the solid-state equivalent, because they're more subject to RF, giving you a wrong reading. If you just set up one of those amplified multimeters in a shack and just lay the leads on a bench and key the transmitter, you're going to get a reading on the meter, which is not good. Okay, get your VOM, maybe even get 2 of them. You can find them cheap, $5, whatever. The next one I would suggest is kind of unusual. It's called a grid dip meter. And those are extremely useful around the shack. You can measure antenna resonant frequency. You can measure your transmitter's output. Try to match the two. And they're very, very useful. They're not as handy as an antenna analyzer, but they're going to be a lot cheaper. And they're not as accurate for some things, but they're accurate enough to get a reading. Anyway, the VOM, I should give some examples. You can check whether your coax is shorted with that thing. You can check if your coax has a wire going all the way from one end to the other that's not broken. You can do so many things around the shack with your VOM. Next, I would add to all, what everybody else said about getting a rig, but I would also add, get a backup receiver or a spare receiver. You'll really enjoy it if you, for instance, have your ham station in one part of the house and your workshop, let's say, in another, that you can just listen to what's going on the radio, set it to one of the repeaters, and you can listen to the Friday Night Fun Net, even if you can't check in, and so forth. And when you buy a rig like that, and you can usually make sure that the receiver is working, or should. The transmitter, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but the receiver will be very, very handy. I think in a lot of places, put it in the car. You don't have to make the super deep installation and worry about a resonant antenna and all that. You can just listen along when you're driving. And you can get, of course, a receiver for 2 meters of the high frequency and stuff, and they have receivers there for $20, and good receivers, and you can test them by just listening. Can you hear signal? And it might not be perfect, but hey, it works for $20 or $40, whatever. You can get a very good bargain. That's all I have, my friend. Back to net control. K9KZT.
Okay, Larry, thank you very much for that. It's all those pieces of equipment there. That would definitely sounds great there. He has a lot of dough, and he has a lot of stuff there at the Ham Fest. Yes, that'd be a good idea. Yes, Belvedere Ham Fest is coming up in 2 weeks. In the Friday night before that, I usually ask everybody, what do they look for when they go to a Ham Fest? So we're definitely going to keep that. We're going to do that again in 2 weeks. So thanks for that input there, Larry. Okay, AE9JF. Jim Loves Park. Sorry to keep you waiting there, but what do you suggest to a first-time ham radio operator who wants to buy equipment, especially for a young ham? What do you say?
AE9JF, good evening, Jimmy. Good evening, everyone on the net. As a relatively new ham myself, less than 1 year, I would recommend that they first buy the ARRL Technician's License Book, and that's easily available on Amazon, or if they go ahead and join the ARRL. But for me, hindsight being 2020, I would have gotten the Baofeng UV5R. That's an 8-watt handheld unit kit. Comes with a microphone, comes with the patch cord in order to load the repeaters and stuff. And then I would advise that after they've loaded the software from Chirp on the repeater, listen and read the book. And just listen to all of the ham operators that you hear to understand protocol and that sort of thing. After that, then I think the next step is and I'm not selling any brand, but any mobile unit. And from there, they can see how much they're interested in it, and then on to HF, CW, and so forth. So that's my recommendation. AE9JF, back to net.
I think you're right. Sounds like a good idea. Get an ARRL technician's license manual. I think that's great. And get yourself a question. That's what I always say, especially to anybody listening getting into this hobby. If you have a scanner, program. The ham repeaters. Program them in, or if you know, if you know a ham radio operator, ask them. He'll tell you what the frequencies are, and write them down. You can listen. You can listen to the different nets on the scanner, especially when we have severe weather. Listen to the weather spotters. With Ricky WX9 RLT was a net controller, and sometimes Bill Case9 OJP, and of course this net, Friday Night Fun Net, and the Health and Tech nets, and the Monday Night Rah Rah net, and the Saturn net we have here in Freeport, and our Swamp net, our Aries nets, and what have you. Thanks, Jim, 89JF. Thanks for that input. Carrie, K9MEP, what do you say? What do you have? You have any suggestions for a new ham radio operator or a young ham who just got his ticket and looking for equipment. What do you say?
This is KD9MAP. Well, the first thing I'd say is you got a license, that means you want to operate, not mess around. I mean, you can do electronic experimentation and construction without a license. You can, do that all day long. But you got a license, that means you want to operate. So let's start from there. Brief reset. Buy your equipment new and warranted. Don't buy it used. For your first stuff, don't go to a ham fest. Don't buy used. If you buy used and you have trouble with it, you're stuck. Brief reset. The second point I'd make is plan to budget as much for your antenna installation as for the radio. I mean, guys like to page through the wish books, the HRO catalog and the DX engineering catalog, and look at all the sexy radios, but plan on spending at least as much on your antenna as on your rig. Brief reset. In fact, I think there's something to be said for planning and installing the antenna system before even selecting a particular brand of rig. I mean, obviously, you've already chosen whether you want to work VHF or HF or whatever bands you want to work, but that all depends on your real estate and what antenna possibilities are open to you. KD9MAP.
Thank you very much, Gary K9MAP. And yes, you have a good point. Get licensed. Study for your the technician's license, and you get your license first. Then you can, like you said, you don't want to mess around. And if you want to experiment, that's fine. But if you're going to do anything, get your license. And okay. And okay. Thank you for that input there, Gary. This is K-Sign GCR, Net Control and Friday Night Fun. Do we have any more stations I'd like to check in this time? Please call now.
KD9EPZ.
Kilowatt Echo 9 Norway.
Okay. KD9EPZ, Alan Rochelle, Dr. Jack D, and Kurt. KE9N, good hearing from you again there. Somebody was calling for you during I think it was Larry AC9GO during the on-air meeting tonight there. Kurt, I'll get back to you in a minute there. Al, K9EPC, where the question tonight is, let's say, Hamfest is coming up. Let's say you just got your license or you're a young ham looking for to buy your first piece of equipment. What do you recommend to a young ham who wants to get into this hobby? What kind of equipment should he buy first?
KD9EPZ. Well, like I think I've heard somebody mention before, but depending on the budget you have, the first thing you should worry about is getting a decent antenna, because it doesn't matter what you have. If you don't have a good antenna, it's not going to work. Even if you had like I started off with a Baofeng handheld and a coupler to hook it to a base antenna. Okay, even a $25 radio will work if you've got a decent antenna. So, but if it's before you go and spend several $100s on a radio and not have anything left for an antenna, buy the antenna and worry about the then worry about the radio. Because no matter what you hook up to it, no matter how cheap it is, if the antenna is decent, it will talk.
Okay, well, that's good advice there, Al. Well, let's see. I'll tell you what Richard, NIZO, I heard him say this one time, several years ago. You're the most important part of your radio system. It's not the radio itself. It's the antenna. If you don't have a good antenna, or what have you, you're just plain old SOL. You're up a creek without a paddle. But yeah, you got a point there, Al. Go get yourself look into buying a good antenna system. That's great. Thank you very much there, Al. By the way, I went to Walmart. I was going to pick up the TV. They're non-stock, not till maybe next week or what have you. I talked to the clerk. He said you do not need internet in order to ask to use that own TV. I asked him. He said no.
Okay, I hope he's right, because I know you told me it was a Roku TV, and I know I have a Roku TV. Mine's an Element, but and I thought that the first thing it did was try to find a network connection. But I could be wrong. You may be able to program it to scan local channels about setting up anything else on it. But I'm still gonna say I think you should get on the internet. They have programs for limited income individuals, because I know I'm one of them, and it's not that expensive.
This case on GCR to Friday Night Fun on the K9 RMD repeated Rockford transferring for Friday Night Fun at Central Rebor. Okay, Al, thanks. Well, I'll consider it. I'm just letting you know that. So, okay. Thank you for checking in. I'm sure we'll hear from you during the trivia segment. Kurt, KE9N. We haven't heard from you in a while. How are you getting along?
I'm doing okay. Getting better. And I don't really have a outside antenna. I'm sitting here with a handheld with an antenna on it. And in regards to your question, I pretty much agree with everyone. You know, if you don't have a good antenna, you're going to get tired of ham radio pretty quickly. And you won't exactly understand why you might blame the radio. You might blame a lot of things. But if you can't make contact, your interest is going to wane very quickly. So having a good antenna makes all the difference in the world. And think of it this way. If you have a good antenna, you'll make contacts, whether it be a $100 radio or a $1,000 radio. So that's kind of irrelevant as long as radio works okay. It may not have all the features, but without a good antenna, you're not going to enjoy ham radio much. So anyhow, no, I'm doing okay, getting better. It's still going to take a long time, and I don't know if I'll ever get totally better, but I can get around, I can drive, I can dress myself, the normal things. It just takes me longer, but I appreciate everyone's thoughts and comments. KC9GCR, KE9N.
Well, Kurt, that is great. That's great. At least you're able to drive your car again. That's wonderful. Well, I know you just keep you will eventually get back to where you were before you had your accident. That's for sure. So, okay, Kurt, thank you for checking in. We haven't heard you in a while. So, and you have a good evening. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you for checking in. We'll probably be doing the trivia segment here in a few minutes here. Okay. Are there any more stations who'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now.
You know, one thing I wanted to comment on, Jimmy, we did sell our old house, we moved, and so we're in a different house. We downsized quite a bit. The elevation's higher, though. But we did move from our old residence, and we're just like half a mile east. We're just into Boone County. So that's been going on the last month or so, 6 weeks, somewhere in there. So little by little, I'll get everything organized where I can be on the air a little bit more. KE9N, I'll be clear.
Okay, that's great news, Kurt. Thank you for checking in. Glad you like your new QTH there. So, okay. Any more stations that want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Monroe. Okay, I can hear you, Scott. There is some noise with your signal, but I can hear you through the repeater. What's going on with you? Scott, I'll tell you what. I'm awful sorry. I could hardly I could hear you talking, but I could not make out anything. Why don't you go to the 195 Suplex and try it then? Then I'll relay. Oh yeah, Scott, sure is. You're moving that beam to the south there. You're turning that beam to the south. They're doing by your beautiful signal there. So okay, now repeat what you were what you just said there, if you would, please. That's great. That's great, Scott. The question tonight. This was suggested to me by Larry K9KZT. He was. Let's say we got the Belvedere Ham Fest coming up. Let's just say you're a young ham operator, or you're a new ham. You're looking to buy some. You don't know what kind of equipment to buy at the Ham Fest. You're going to a Ham Fest. You're looking for equipment to buy. What do you suggest this young ham, buy first or whatever? Well, if you're a new ham, we'll just say start with why don't we start with VHF or whatever. Yeah, well, I'm talking to you on the ACU FTM 100. That standby hotline. This is K9GCR, the Friday Night Fun Net on the K9 RFD repeater in Rockford, transmitting for Friday Night Fun Net, Central Freeport. That was Tom, W99WTF. He called, he checked it on the Friday Night Fun Net hotline. He's got a football game, a high school football game in Madison. He's going to be on his way home, driving school bus. He'll be near Sun Prairie. You'll probably give me a call then. Okay, Scott, K9YI. Like we were talking, I was suggesting what kind of, you said you would probably use 2-meter rig there when you first started out. What were you going to say then when the phone rang? Yeah, okay, well, I still have my old original radio, Icom IC2100H. A couple years ago or so, when I ran the Friday Night Fun Net, I made the stupid mistake of transmitting at high power. Unfortunately, I'm no longer able to transmit at high power or medium power, but I can with low power. And I use that radio only for talking on 3.9. But I still have that. I bought the new radio last year, the Icom IC2300H. That's 2-meter only. I mostly use that for monitoring, and of course this FGM 100 is the issue radio. That's my main radio for running nets there. That's what I'm doing now. Okay, Scott, sounds good. 7-3, you have a good evening. We'll catch you on the Green County Net this coming Sunday night, 7:30. I also had an Icom, I used for several years, I used an Icom IC208H at 2-meter 440, but that, it gave up its ghost, so the hams over in Rockford put in, chipped in some money. They got me this FGM 100 back in 2017. I'll never forget that. I was kind of overwhelmed when they gave me that radio. 7-3, Scott, thank you for checking in. I hope everybody was able to hear that because he was transmitting on the 195 of Simplex. Okay, are there any more stations that'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Okay, those of you new hams in waiting, of course, like I said, like Kerry K9MAP says, If you want to get on the air, gotta get a license. That's all there is to it. Those of you who are not taking your test yet, next VE testing session will take place next month on Saturday, October 2nd at 12:30 p.m. at the Freeport Public Library. If you want more information, contact Brandon K9LOA. These, we're going to do Friday Night Fun Trivia now. This is where I read multiple choice questions from ARRL's Text General and Extra Q&A. We got a lot of people who are studying for their first ham radio license. They're listening to this net and other nets on the scanner. And other people who listen to us on the scanner because they can't listen to police communications anymore unless they have a very expensive digital scanner. All right. First few questions are from the technician's questions. So I'm trying to read not to seem the... okay. Here's the first question. First question. Which of the following could be the reason you are unable to access a repeater whose output you can hear? A. Improper transceiver offset. B. The repeater may require a proper CTCSS tone from your transceiver. C. The repeater may require a proper DCS tone from your transceiver. D. All of these choices are correct. Which of the following could be the reason you are unable to access a repeater whose output you can hear? A. Improper transceiver offset. B. The repeater may require a proper CTCSS tone from your transceiver. C. The repeater may require a proper DCS tone from your transceiver. D. All of these choices are correct. Anybody have a correct answer to this question? Okay, I'll read this question one more time. Which of the following could be the reason you are unable to access a repeater whose output you can hear? A. Improper transceiver offset. B. The repeater may require a proper CTCSS tone from your transceiver. C. The repeater may require a proper DCS tone from your transceiver. D. All of these choices are correct. Anybody correct to answer this question?
W9JTC has a guess for you, Jimmy.
Okay, Jamie, go ahead.
Well, it's not really a guess, but it's got to be D, all of the above.
You are correct, Jamie, you are correct. Which of the following could be the reason you are unable to access a repeater whose output you can hear? A. Improper transceiver offset. B. The repeater may require a proper CTCSS tone from your transceiver. C. The repeater may require a proper DCS tone from your transceiver. Well, the correct answer is D. Delta. All of these choices are correct. If you can hear a repeater's signal and you're sure you are using the right offset, but can't access the repeater, then you probably don't have your radio set up to use the right type of frequency of access tone. Ham radio license manual, page 6-13. Let's find another one here. All right. I think I read this question earlier. I'm trying to make sure I don't read the same questions again. It kind of gets ridiculous there. All right. Okay. What is generally the best time for long-distance 10-meter band propagation via the F layer? A. From dawn to shortly after sunset during periods of high sunspot activity. B. From shortly after sunset to dawn during periods of high sunspot activity. C. From dawn to shortly after sunset during periods of low sunspot activity. D. From shortly after sunset to dawn during periods of low sunspot activity. What is generally the best time for long-distance 10-meter band propagation via the F layer? from dawn to shortly after sunset during periods of high sunspot activity. B, from shortly after sunset to dawn during periods of high sunspot activity. C, from dawn to shortly after sunset during periods of low sunspot activity. D, from shortly after sunset to dawn during periods of low sunspot activity. Does anybody have a correct answer to this question?
AE9JF, bravo.
AE9JF, but Jim, if you said bravo, sorry, that's not correct. Thank you for trying. Anybody else want to give it a shot?
Kilowatt Echo 9 Norway.
AE9N, go ahead, Kurt.
I believe the answer is A of Ascendant Alpha.
You are correct, Kurt. You are correct. What is generally the best time for long-distance 10-meter band propagation of VHF layers? The correct answer is A alpha, from dawn to shortly after sunset during periods of high sunspot activity. During the years of maximum solar activity, the upper HF bands, such as 10 meters, are likely to be open from dawn until shortly after sunset. Occasionally, the F layers can even reflect 6-meter or 50 megahertz signals at the sunspot cycle's peak. And read the license manual, page 4-4. All right. Okay, let's move on to another. Okay. What is the resistance of a circuit that draws 4 amperes from a 12-volt source? A, 3 ohms. B, 16 ohms. C, 48 ohms. D, 8 ohms. What is the resistance of a circuit that draws 4 amperes from a 12-volt source? A, 3 ohms. B, 16 ohms. C, 48 ohms. D, 8 ohms. Anybody have a correct answer to this question? Go ahead, Kurt.
3 ohms. I believe the answer would be A as an alpha, 3 ohms.
You are correct, Kurt. You're correct again. What is the resistance of a circuit that draws 4 amperes from a 12-volt source? Correct answer is A alpha, 3 ohms. And that's a math question there, so I'm not going to bother reading the discussion. Okay? Which instrument is used to measure electric current? A, an ohm meter. B, a wave meter. C, a voltmeter. D, an ammeter. Which instrument is used to measure electric current? A, an ohm meter. B, a wave meter. C, a voltmeter. D, an ammeter. Anybody have a correct answer to this question? Go ahead, Kurt.
Okay, the answer is D as in dog, the ammeter. So while you're trying to put the icicles in the envelope, no, you got to put 3 of them in now.
We haven't heard that in quite a while there, Kurt. Will do. And you are correct. You are correct. D as in dog, you're correct. Which instrument is used to measure electric current? Correct answer is D delta, an ammeter. An ammeter is used to measure the current. Ammeter license manual, page 3-1. All right. Let's find another one here. Okay. What is the electrical difference between RG58 and RG8 coaxial cable? A, there is no significant difference between the two types. B, RG58 cable has 2 shields. C, RG8 cable has less loss at a given frequency. D. RG58 cable can handle higher power levels. What is the electrical difference between RG58 and RG8 coaxial cable? A. There is no significant difference between the two types. B. RG58 cable has two shields. C. RG8 cable has less loss at a given frequency. D. RG58 cable can handle higher power levels. Anybody correct answer this question?
89 EPV.
Go ahead, Al.
C is in Charlie.
You are correct, Al. You are correct. What is the electrical difference between RG58 and RG8 coaxial cable? Correct answer, C, Charlie. RG8 cable has less loss at a given frequency. In general, a larger diameter cable such as RG8 will have less loss than a small cable such as RG58. And radio license manual page 4-17. Okay. Alright, let's see. I'm trying to find another question here. I read that question last week. I'm not going to read it again. We'll find it. All right. Which of the following actions might amateur operators take to prevent exposure to RF radiation in excess of FCC supplied limits? A. Relocate antennas. B. Relocate the transmitter. C. Increase the duty cycle. D. All of these choices are correct. Which of the following actions might amateur operators take to prevent exposure to RF radiation in excess of FCC supplied limits? A. Relocate antennas. B. Relocate the transmitter. C. Increase the duty cycle. D. All of these choices are correct. Anybody correct to answer this question? Okay, I'll read the question and give the correct answer. Which of the following actions might amateur operators take to prevent exposure to RF radiation in excess of FCC supplied limits? Correct answer is A, alpha. Relocate antennas. Locate antennas away from where people can get close to them and away from property lines. And radio lights and manual page 9-14. This concludes the technician's portion of Friday Night Fun Net Trivia. We'll do the general portion in a couple minutes here. Before we do, are there any more stations who'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Okay, let's go ahead with the general portion. Okay, which mode is most commonly used for voice communications on the 17-meter and 12-meter bands? A, upper sideband. B, lower sideband. C, vestigial sideband. D, double sideband. Which mode is most commonly used for voice communications on the 17 and 12-meter bands? A, upper sideband. B, lower sideband. C, vestigial sideband. D, double sideband. Anybody correct to answer this question? Go ahead, Kurt.
The answer is A is an alpha, which is upper sideband.
You are correct. Kurt, you are correct. Which mode is most commonly used for voice communications on the 17-meter and 12-meter bands? Correct answer is A, alpha, upper sideband. Amateurs normally use the upper sideband for 17 and 12 meters of the phone operation. General class size manual, page 32-9. Find another one here. Okay, which of the following describes as mythful? I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to skip that question. I'm going to move on. Okay, what does the A index indicate? A, the relative position of sunspots on the surface of the sun. B, the amount of polarization of the sun's electric field. C, the long-term stability of Earth's geomagnetic field. D, the solar radial flux at Boulder, Colorado. What does the A index indicate? A, the relative position of sunspots on the surface of the sun. B, the amount of polarization of the sun's electric field. C, the long-term stability of Earth's geomagnetic field. D, the solar radial flux at Boulder, Colorado. Anybody correct to answer this question? Okay, I'll read the question and give the answer. What does the A index indicate? The correct answer is C, Charlie, the long-term stability of Earth's geomagnetic field. Okay. Find another one here. Okay, where on Earth do ionospheric layers reach their maximum height? A, where the sun is overhead. B, where the sun is on the opposite side of Earth. C, where the sun is rising. D, where the sun is just set. Where on Earth do ionospheric layers reach their maximum height? A, where the sun is overhead. B, where the sun is on the opposite side of Earth. C, where the sun is rising. D, where the sun is just set. Anybody correct to answer this question?
AE9JF Alpha.
You are correct, Jim. You are correct. Where on Earth do ionospheric layers reach their maximum height? Correct answer is A, Alpha, where the sun is overhead. The discussion is rather lengthy, so I'm not even going to bother reading it. Okay. What could be a symptom of a ground loop somewhere in your station? A, you receive reports of hum on your station's transmitted signal. B, the SWR reading for one or more antennas is suddenly very high. C, an item of station equipment starts to draw excessive amounts of current. D, you receive reports of harmonic interference from your station. What could be a symptom of a ground loop somewhere in your station? A, you receive reports of hum on your station's transmitted signal. B, the SWR reading for one or more antennas is suddenly very high. C, an item of station equipment starts to draw excessive amounts of current. D, you receive reports of harmonic interference from your station. Anybody correct to answer this question?
AE9M.
Go ahead, Kurt.
I think the answer is A is an alpha when you have a hum on your signal.
You are correct, Kurt. You are correct. That was the case during the on-air meeting tonight. I think Jimmy K9GOL accidentally had his charger on. It was charging up the radio and it was causing a hum. Accidents happen there, but you are correct, Kurt. You are correct. What could be a symptom of a ground loop somewhere in your station? Correct answer is A, Alpha. You receive reports of hum on your station's transmitted signal. All right. Let's find... Okay. One moment, please. Okay. What? Skip. I'm not reading that one. I'm going to move on. Okay. Which of the following best describes the radiation pattern of a quarter wave ground plane vertical antenna? A. Bidirectional in azimuth. B. Isotropic. C. Hemispherical. D. Omnidirectional in azimuth. Which of the following best describes the radiation pattern of a quarter wave ground plane vertical antenna? A. Bidirectional in azimuth. B. Isotropic. C. Hemispherical. D. Omnidirectional in azimuth. Anybody correct to answer this question? Go ahead, Kurt.
Okay, as the last question I'm going to answer, Jimmy. So instead of getting an envelope out for those icicles, just send me a six-pack of them and we'll be fine. Anyhow, the answer would be D. It's an omnidirectional antenna in the azimuth plane.
Okay, you said D and Delta. You are correct. You are correct. Which of the following best describes the radiation pattern of a quarter wave ground plane and vertical antenna? Correct answer is D delta, omnidirectional, and azimuth. Ground planes are often called verticals because that is the usual way of constructing and installing them. Like a dipole, the ground plane radiates best broadside to its axis. If installed vertically, this means the ground plane antenna's pattern is omnidirectional, uniform in all azimuth angles or directions. General Class License Manual, page 7-4. Kurt, it's good hearing from you again. You have a good night, and we'll talk to you down the line. Always good talking to you. It won't be long. You'll be back up to your old self. You get your station, be back on here like nobody's business. Thank goodness you got an HT connector and outside antenna. K-sign GCR 73, it's Kurt. Good night. Thank you for checking in.
Okay, see you later. Take care, Jimmy. And actually, my HT, all I've got is about a 13, 14-inch antenna on it, really. It's not even connected right now to an outside antenna, so our elevation's a bit higher here than at our old house. But anyhow, we'll talk to you, and it's good to hear you as well. KC9GCR, K9, I'll be clear.
73, or K-sign GCR, clear. Good night. Thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. All right. You people didn't think I was going to ask this next question, didn't I? But we're going to do it. Okay. All right. What are the toughest questions in the general and extra Q&A? Your tower questions, of course. You new listeners, you new hams, those you're going to get into your license there. Someday you're going to be part of a tower climbing crew. You're going to be climbing the tower itself. You're going to be part of the ground support crew. This next question may put you over the top as far as getting your technician's license goes, even though we're reading from the general Q&A. Okay, here we go. What should be done by any person preparing to climb a tower that supports electrically powered devices? A. Notify the electric company that a person will be working on the tower. B. Make sure all circuits that supply power to the tower are locked out and tagged. C. Unground the base of the tower. D. All these choices are correct. What should be done by any person preparing to climb a tower that supports electrically powered devices? A. Notify the electric company that a person will be working on the tower. B. Make sure all circuits and the power Make sure all circuits that supply power to the tower are locked out and tagged. C. Unground the base of the tower. D. All these choices are correct. Anybody correct to answer this question?
AE9JF, Bravo.
You are correct, Jim. You are correct. What should be done by any person preparing to climb a tower that supports electrically powered devices? Correct answer is B, Bravo. Make sure all circuits that supply power to the tower are locked out and tagged. Before climbing, remove power from any circuit that will not be used while you are on the tower. The best way is to remove fuses or open the circuit breakers. Once the circuit is open, lock the circuit breaker open, if possible, and tag the fuse block or breaker panel so that no one will reconnect the circuit. General Fast License Manual, page 9-15. Okay, one moment, please. Okay, we're going to move into the extra class portion of the Friday Night Fun Net trivia. But before we do, are there any more stations like checking the Friday Night Fun Net? You're coming home your Friday night fish fry, steak fry, grocery shopping, or the show. If you just turn on your radio, or you've been copying the mail for the last about an hour and 20 minutes or so, or hour and 25 minutes. This is your chance of checking the Friday Night Fun Net from everywhere in the region without traffic. Please call KC9GCR.
KC9GCR, this is KD9QVB checking in.
KD9QDB, Brian, how you doing?
Doing all right, Jimmy. Just enjoying the beautiful evening outside on the front porch with my lovely wife.
Okay, sounds good, sounds good. I know you're a new ham, but let's see, Larry, K9KCT suggests I ask this question. We got the Belvedere Ham Fest coming up in 2 weeks. Let's just say you're a young ham. You're just getting into this hobby. You're buying your first piece of equipment. Now, what do you say? What do you tell a young ham? What do you tell him? What kind of equipment that he thinks he should buy first? What do you say?
Oh man, that's a tough question. I guess he has to think about what kind of antenna he's going to have if he's going to operate from home. So I know that was one of my first challenges that I faced. But, I probably jumped in a little heavier than a new guy. I bought a pretty heavy-duty radio that covers all HF and the 2-meter band, too. So, if he could do that, that's what I would recommend, because then he can get all the different things going.
Oh yeah, I hear you. What several hams are saying, and what I'm going to say here too, is part of the topic there, and I think do like I did. You get enough money, get yourself a brand new rig. Now, the used rigs are nice, but the only thing is you don't know how far along they've been used. You go connect it, you go turn it on, or get a mic. Oh, nothing happened. Sorry, it gave up its ghost. You don't want that to happen. You don't want any of your equipment to be fried. I think that, yeah, if you got the dough, go out and buy brand new equipment. Antenna, radio, power supply, you name it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Or if you can find a ham that's been in it a while, that's that appears to be a trusted person. That's what I did. I shopped around and I talked to this guy quite a bit before I handed over my money. I think, you can, if you're a good judge of somebody's honesty, you might do okay in buying something used, because I wasn't ready to spend $1,000 on stuff. So I was able to get by for a little over $500.
That's great. I don't blame you. I would hesitate too before you did do some checking. But the problem is, you're quick to hand the money over. You get it home, you get it all set up, turned on. Nothing. I don't blame you. I feel the same way too.
Yeah, I was fortunate. I've been very happy with this radio, this used radio, and I just need to get my next antenna up. I've been still operating with my low dollar antenna, and I got to get my other antenna up, and then I get to talk a little bit further out there and listen a little bit further. It'll be more fun.
That's for sure, Brian. Okay. How are you coming along technical wise? Everything operating normally? You're not having any problems, aren't you?
No, it seems to be running good. I haven't been on the radio as much lately. Been having a lot of projects, and we just redid all the wood floors on our first floor, so we were out of our house for almost a week. So kind of had the radio shut down then too. So, but no, things are good until I get that next antenna up. Everything's still running great, and I'll look forward to the next challenge of getting that 80-meter off-center fed dipole up in the air. Probably going to get that done in the next 4 weeks, I would guess.
That would be great. That'd be great. Stand by, Brian. Was there another station trying to get in there? Come back.
This is Kilo Delta 9, Golf Delta Yankee Jim in Beloit. Assume the fun night net is over?
No. Fun net's still going on. We always run till at least past 10 o'clock anyway.
Okay, well, I'll be checking in when I get an opportunity. Go ahead, continue your use over there with Brian. I'll be on the side, KD9GDY.
KD9GDY, okay, sounds good. We'll put you down, and we'll get back to you in a few minutes. I got KD9GDY. Okay, I want to make sure I get you checked in, so. Okay, we're just about done anyway. Hey, Brian, anything else you'd like to add?
No, sir. Just enjoying these beautiful days with the great weather we're having, and enjoying sleeping with the windows open again. So anyway, thanks for letting me chat with the net here, and back to you, Jimmy.
You're welcome. Get those fans and ACs going tomorrow. The next couple of days going to be in the 90s. Okay, thank you for checking in, Brian. KD9GDY, what is going on with you?
Good evening, Jimmy. Yeah, this is KD9GDY Jim up here in Beloit. First time I checked in. I'm a first-time check-inner for the fun night. I've been out of town on Fridays, so anyway, here we are, and I got caught up over there at the neighbors. I thought maybe I missed everything tonight, so I'm just here in the mobile checking in. I don't have my 2-meter antenna up at the moment. I've been using my temporary one up about 15 feet or so. I just got done playing around with my wires a little bit. I'm planning on running the SKCC, the Straight Key Century Club event this weekend. They got their weekend sprint, so hopefully make a bunch of contacts with that. Other than that, I don't know what the subjects were or anything, but I'm in an HOA, and I don't know if I can even put up my R7 vertical back here. I've got it. I brought it back from Fort Wayne, and so I'm just real stealth-like running a couple wires for now. Got an 80-meter, 40 to 20 dipole, all off the same 1-to-1 Allen there. So anyway, what else is going on? I've got last caller, Brian, talked about it, 80 through 10, I think, off-center fed dipole. So I've got one of those too, but I put it up in my cabin up north, and it was reading high and everything. I don't think I had it high enough, so, and I had it like an inverted V, so I think I got to get the ends up and get the center point up there too, elevate a little bit higher. So maybe that'll bring the frequencies down there. So anyway, I was wondering if I could even add to that. I would like to be able to add wire to it and not have to worry about it. So any thoughts on that? KD9GUI, back to net control.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brian, as far as Brian, KD9QDB is still standing by there. Why don't you go direct with them? Brian, why don't you go back to KD9GDY and Boyd there?
For KD9GDY, this is Brian, KD9QBP. And yeah, I have not, I did a little research on the 80 meter off center pit dipole, and I purchased mine. It's got a 4-to-1 Ballon. I don't remember the guy I bought it from. I think he's out in Pennsylvania or New York, one of the two. I don't recall. I think I can't remember if it's High Power is the name of it, but if I did a little digging, I could find it. But anyway, I've read that you got to be up a good 35 feet with the center and be pretty parallel going out to the 40-some foot and the 90-some foot leg, and keep those up pretty high too, or you can do an inverted V.
Okay, Brian, I think you passed it over to me. This is KD9GDY picking it up here. Yeah, okay, I had mine up about 25 feet, and then it was like an inverted V, inverted V, so the ends there at the insulator really weren't that high off the ground, so I'm thinking about if I can get it up higher and get the out, each leg up higher in the air, it might work out pretty good. But right now, like I said, the frequencies are a lot higher than I want to operate at. So some of them are actually outside the phone band. So anyway, mine's a MaxCon. I think it's a 83K or 3K80 or something like that. So anyways, I'll play around with it. It sounds like a little twin wire on it. That's why I wondered if I could add anything to it or not, if need be, just to bring the frequencies down. So, all right, well, good, fine business on that information there, Brian. Go ahead, you can comment there, and I'll be on the side. If you want to pass it back to Jimmy, that's okay.
Was somebody else coming in there with a comment on that? Otherwise, I'm done. I really don't know much about it yet till I get it up and going and in the air. But otherwise, if somebody else didn't have a comment on that, I'll pass it back to Jimmy. Over.
Okay, well let's be on the safe side. Was somebody make a comment? Other station, come back, please.
I let my finger off the trigger there too soon, and then I wanted to sign. So, all right, that's what I think you guys were here at KD9GDY.
Okay, sounds good. The question tonight, we got Belvedere Amfest coming up next in 2 weeks. I was asking everybody if you were, say you were a young ham, you just got a license, you're looking for what type of equipment you want to buy for your first. Get your station on there, but that was a discussion. Hey, guys, thank you both of you for checking the Friday Night Funnet, K9 and the GDY. Thank you for checking the Friday Night Funnet for the very first time ever. You have a good evening, 7-3, and hopefully we'll catch you next week. This is what's great about this net. We're not a formal net at all. You want to rag shoot to somebody about the technical questions or a piece of equipment, that's great. So, okay, let's any more stations want to check in, please call now.
KD9SBA.
KD9SBA, Matt, down in Oregon, still in Valley, down in Ogle County. Sounds like you're on a base there. Your signal is beautiful tonight.
That I am, Jimmy. I'm just getting ready to head to bed, but I thought I'd check in for you real quick here. I've been listening in and out all night.
Okay, sounds good there. What kind of a radio are you running there for a base?
I got ICOM 2730 as my main base radio. That's what I'm talking to you on tonight.
That sounds good. What kind of a mic are you running there? It sounds like you got like a desk mic or something.
No, this is a standard ICOM. It's a commercial ICOM mic, but it's a regular one.
Okay, sounds good. I was asking a question. You're a young ham. You just got licensed. You're going to a ham fest. You're looking for your first. You want to buy your first piece of the ham radio equipment. You were just kind of. I was asking everybody, what was your suggestion? What kind of equipment should you buy first, or what have you?
I guess for me, I've been in it maybe a year now. I started with the real low-end base antenna. I worked my way all the way up to the Diamond 510 already, so maybe save the money and go bigger from the start for your base antenna would be my advice from what I went through, at least.
Okay, Matt, sounds good. Okay, I'm going to let you go so you can hit the sack. Thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Day at KD9 SBA Small Business Administration down in Stillman Valley, Ogle County. You have a good evening. I'm sure we'll hear you on some of the other nets, especially the Ogle County net on Tuesday night. Thank you for checking in. Have a good evening. Okay, any more stations want to check the Friday Night Fun Net, please call now.
November 9, Chicago Northwestern, Mark, no traffic.
CNW, Mark and Robert, got you checked in. Mark, I'm asking the question. You have any advice for a young ham operator or first-time ham? Just got his license, you're looking to buy his first piece of equipment at a ham fest. What do you suggest?
CNW in the net, yeah. I've always looked at it to get the best equipment you can afford. I've gotten some good radios that are really great, and I've gotten some crummy radios that are really crummy. So, if you stick with your main brands, Yaesu, ICOM, and stuff like that, you're in pretty good shape. And 9 CNW.
Okay, Mark, sounds good. That's a good advice there. Thanks for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend. Okay, any more stations want to check the Friday Night Fun Net, please call now. Okay, we're still in the Friday Night Fun Net trivia segment. We're now doing the extra class. Those of you, let's see. All right. Okay. Those of you who work on the FastScan TV should know the answer to this question by heart. What technique allows commercial analog TV receivers to be used for FastScan TV operations on the 70-centimeter band? A. Transmitting on channels shared with cable TV. B. Using converted satellite TV dishes. C. Transmitting on the abandoned TV channel 2. D. Using USB and demodulating the signal with a computer sound card. What technique allows commercial analog TV receivers to be used for FastScan TV operations on the 70-centimeter band? A. Transmitting on channels shared with cable TV. B. Using converted satellite TV dishes. C. Transmitting on the abandoned TV channel 2. D. Using USB and demodulating the signal with a computer sound card. Anybody correct to answer this question? Okay, we must not have anybody who works FastScan TV, so I'll go ahead and read the question and read the answer. What technique allows commercial analog TV receivers to be used for fast scan CTV operation on the 77-meter band? Correct answer is A alpha, transmitting on channels shared with cable TV. Cable TV channel frequencies in the 77-meter band can be used for ATV transmissions because those systems send all signals over coaxial cable. An analog TV receiver can then be connected to an antenna in order to receive the ATV signal directly. Extra class slides in manual page 819. So don't throw away your old analog TV sets, folks. You might want to use them for fast scan the TV. Okay. Well, I think I read these questions before, so I'm going to find another one here. All right. How should an antenna analyzer be used? Let's do that again. How should an antenna analyzer be connected when measuring antenna resonance and feed point impedance? A. Loosely couple the analyzer near the antenna base. B. Connect the analyzer via a high impedance transformer to the antenna. C. Loosely couple the antenna and a dummy load to the analyzer. D. Connect the antenna feed line directly to the analyzer's connector. How should an antenna analyzer be connected when measuring antenna resonance and feed point impedance? A. Loosely couple the analyzer near the antenna base. B. Connect the analyzer via a high impedance transformer to the antenna. C. Loosely couple the antenna and a dummy load to the analyzer. D. Connect the antenna feed line directly to the analyzer's connector. Anybody correct to answer this question?
89 EPZ.
Go ahead, Al.
D is in Delta.
You are correct, Al. You are correct. How should an antenna analyzer be connected when measuring antenna resonance and feed point impedance? Correct answer is D delta. Connect the antenna feed line directly to the analyzer's connector. The antenna analyzer is actually a variable frequency low power transmitter with a built-in impedance bridge. So SWR is measured just as with standalone transmitters and SWR meters. The feed line is connected directly to the analyzer's output. Extra class lines in manual page 9-39. Okay. What undesirable effect can occur when using an IF noise blanker? A. Received audio in the speech range might have an echo effect. B. The audio frequency bandwidth of the received signal might be compressed. C. Nearby signals may appear to be excessively wide even if they meet emission standards. D. FM signals can no longer be demodulated. What undesirable effect can occur when using an IF noise blanker? A. Received audio in the speech range might have an echo effect. B. The audio frequency bandwidth of the received signal might be compressed. C. Nearby signals may appear to be excessively wide even if they meet emission standards. D. FM signals can no longer be demodulated. Anybody correct to answer this question? Okay, I'm going to read the question and give the answer. And the discussion is rather lengthy, so I'm not even going to read, but here we go. What undesirable effect can occur when using an IF noise blanker? Correct answer is C, Charlie. Nearby signals may appear to be excessively wide even if they meet emission standards. Let's see. Oh, boy. Some of these questions I'm not even going to bother with, so I'm going to move on. Okay. Okay. This is the last question of the evening. Last question of the evening. Which of the following factors affect the feed point impedance of an antenna? A. Transmission line strength. B. Antenna height. C. The settings of an antenna tuner at the transmitter. D. The input power level. Which of the following factors affect the feed point impedance of an antenna? A. Transmission line length. B. Antenna height. C. The settings of an antenna tuner at the transmitter. D. The input power level. Anybody correct to answer this question?
89 EPZ.
Go ahead, Al.
B is in Bravo.
You are correct, Al. You are correct. Which of the following factors affect the feed point impedance of an antenna? The correct answer is B, Bravo. Antenna height. An antenna's location with respect to nearby objects, especially the Earth, helps determine the radiation resistance. So does the conductor's length to diameter, LED ratio. Extra class license manual, page 9-6. This concludes Friday Night Fun Net Trivia for this week. We'll do it again next week. Okay. Are there any more stations who wish to check in this time? Please go now. Okay. I want to tell you about the Friday Night Fun Net Central Facebook page. Contact Ricky WX9 RLT and you'll get you signed up. I don't know how many stations you got signed up. We got 2 weeks ago, Brad Smith had me do an interview on their podcast on the Facebook page. You get a chance, you hear it. It runs for about an hour. But anyway, you see pictures of update pictures of my ham shack. You see pertinent information about the Friday Night Fun Net. You even see weather information. And by the way, Mike K9MED is recording this net for future broadcasts on Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You can't sleep, so you say, you know what? I'm going to turn on the Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page and listen to the Friday Night Fun Net. You can listen to this. Whenever this net is posted, you'll be able to hear the rebroadcast of this net, or you can hear past editions of the Friday Night Fun Net. Every night is Friday night when you listen, regards to when you want to listen to Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page. So you can enjoy the Friday Night Fun Net every night of the week. So Mike K9MED does a great job recording. So okay, let me reset. You don't have to listen to all of that. If you want to just listen to the round table, you can do that, or listen to the trivia segment which we just included. You can do that too. But that's but like I said, enjoy the Friday Night Fun Net every night of the week. If you listen to Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page. Okay. Now I want to tell you about the Friday Night Fun Net Central Hotline. Area code 815-232-FN 232-3636. Local Freeport number. I'll take your check-in over the phone, but try to check in on the radio first. If you're on the 6, you can read the repeater, but you can't get into it. Give me a call on Friday Night Fun Net Hotline. We had one station check-in tonight. That was Tom, W99WTF in Janesville. He was up in Madison, Wisconsin. He was at a high school football game. He was attending a high school football game. He's going to be departing there with his students, the players, on his way home. He said he'd probably be by Sun Prairie. He'll try to give me a call on the radio. So, you want to sign up? You've seen pictures of the Friday Night Fun Net Hotline. It's a traditional red desktop touch-tone telephone. It's a traditional. You heard the ring tonight, folks. It's a traditional telephone ring, not that phony baloney cell phone ring. Okay. If you want to sign up for the Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page, contact Ricky WX9 RLT, and he'll get you signed up. Okay. Are there any more stations you'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net at this time? Please call now.
K9FU, Justin in Los Park.
Hey, Justin. Got you checked in. What's going on with you?
Nothing much, Jimmy. I was sitting at home, laying down in bed. Got a call. I guess I got a friend out in Duran that's got a spare tire he's trying to put on, but his jack isn't working. So head out there, help him, come back home, and probably go to bed. But how you been doing? How's the net going? And what's your topic?
The net's going great. You're checking number 24. It's kind of slow tonight, but I think everybody's out enjoying the weather. I think that's why. I'm asking Glory K9KCT suggested this topic. I say that that we got Belvedere coming up in 2 weeks. I would ask everybody you have you're a new ham radio operator, or well, you went through this a few years ago when you first got your license. You were wondering what kind of equipment to buy. Do you have any advice for any young ham wanting to get into this hobby like you did? What kind of equipment should he buy?
Well, obviously, if you're thinking about it, just do it. Grab the book, probably like $20. It's probably one of the best $20 investments I think I've ever made. Read that book once or twice, go in there, get that technician's test, and then, of course, start off with something cheap, get a Baofeng or something like that. But once your first or second Baofeng crashes out on you, then it's time for you to upgrade to something bigger and something better. And then it just goes from there. So, yep, if I had any advice for somebody that's actually serious about getting into the hobby, get the book, pass the test, get a cheap HT, and you can't stop that train once you're at that point.
You bet. Well, you did it back in 2014, 2015. So that's that you've been in this hobby. Let's see, 15, 16, 17, 18. About going on, he'll be going on about 7 years or so. That's great. Are you glad you got into this hobby?
Absolutely, Jimmy. I cannot believe it's been 7 years. That's absolutely crazy to me. I would have guessed probably 3 years. So, wow.
7 years ago, you didn't even know what ham radio was. You probably never even heard of ham radio. Until you did a check on your computer, you listened to Friday Night Fun Net, you gave me a call on the Friday Night Fun Net hotline.
Yeah, I took a few fun nets. I missed your number once or twice, but yeah, I got a hold of you, asked you, what am I listening to? And that's about it. So, definitely not it's something for everybody. So, doesn't matter what you do, big business, technology, CEO, or some type of construction labor, anybody in between there, man, it does not matter. It's a really enjoyable hobby, and you have absolutely no regrets about getting into it once you do get into it. I mean, there's just so much to it. I could sit here and talk forever, so I'll keep it at that, Jimmy, and I'll give it back to you.
Okay, Justin, sounds good. Ever since this pandemic started, we've got you see the big increase in the ham radio operators. That's for sure. I don't know how many people have signed up. Must have been a few thousand. But okay, this will probably continue for a while, so expect to see more ham radio operators in the future. Okay, Justin, thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Day. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend, and remember, you know what tomorrow is.
No, I'm not real sure, Jimmy.
September 11th, 2001?
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I didn't check the date today. Yep, I am very aware of September 11th. But, yeah, with the whole ham radio operator thing, I wonder if that's like a prepper survival thing or what that is. But, oh yeah, I'm aware of September 11th, K9FU.
If you get a chance, look through some of the old popular communications or what the CQVHF magazines or what have you, or maybe QSC magazines. You could tell there's articles about what the ham radio operators in New York City and Washington, D.C. did on that day.
Yeah, definitely got to check that out. Anytime there's any type of disaster, you hear about ham radio operators. I know Tony's out there helping them. I don't know if he's still out there or not, but I saw he was marked safe during the hurricane.
Brandon told me about that the other day. He's deployed in New York. He was going to go to New Orleans, but his orders changed. He's in New York now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I hope he's doing them good over there, and I definitely wish everybody as much luck as they can have out there. It's a horrible tragedy, but I don't know. I hope everything goes good out there. I don't know if you've talked to Tony at all yet.
Yeah, that's for sure. We'll hear from him when he gets back. Okay, Justin, I better let you go. Thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun in. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend.
All right, Jimmy. It's good talking to you, and I'll catch you next week if I don't catch you before that. KC9GCR, 7-3s, K9FEO.
This is KC9GCR with the Friday Night Fun Net on the K9 RMD repeater in Rockford, transmitting for Friday Night Fun Net Chateau in Freeport. It is now 10 p.m. curfew time. Parents, do you know where your children are at?
Yeah, shackled to the bed bunk.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, N9NQD, how you doing?
Hey, fair to middling. I'm mostly middling, but you know how it goes.
That's for sure, that's for sure. Hey, you're checking number 25, by the way. I'm at the topic tonight. Let's see, we got Belvedere coming up in 2 weeks. And I was asking everybody, if you're a new ham radio operator or a young ham radio operator looking to buy your first piece of ham gear, do you have any suggestions on what kind of equipment that he should buy?
Boy, is that ever a loaded question. Belvedere, 2 weeks. When is it? On a Saturday or Sunday?
It's on a Sunday, the 26th.
Okay, I better mark that down. I had not heard. But, no, I think, well, first off, get the book. Take the test. That'll determine how high you're going to crawl or walk. Because first you get the tech, you can do 2-meter 440, you got 10-meter privileges. That makes a big difference. But if you're going to go a long wire for 10 through 80 meter, now you got to put up a decent antenna. And that takes bucks. Not to mention something else. Maybe you want to put up a tower. Now you got to have a rotor. It all entails. I say put up a good antenna first. Take the test, and then land on the rig. That's how I pulled it.
That's good advice, Art. Yeah, that's what several hands were saying too. Justin was saying that too just now. Get a tech, get your license, then get a couple of ball fangs. Well, of course, for me, I had enough money. I was able to buy a brand new radio and power supply. My ICOM IC2100H, which I still use. I just use that to talk locally here on the 3.9 repeater now. But we got two other radios plus my HF rig and a couple of HTs and some scanners too.
That's a nice radio. All my friends are tending to egg me on to get a 7300. I've got other notions. Of course, I've been at it a little longer than the average bear. I like Yaesu, and I make no qualms about it. The Yaesus were the talkers.
The ICOMs were noted for the receive, and the Kenwoods, bells and whistles. But now all three have gotten up there, and they're all good. But, well, ICOM really stands out when it does come to receive, though. And if you can't hear them, you can't work them.
That's true. Well, I'll tell you what. When I was presented with this Yaesu FTM 100 back in the 2017, I was just overwhelmed. The guys in Rockford chipped in. I'll tell you what happened. My ICOM IC208H gave up its ghost. So finally, that's what they chipped in and got me this Yaesu radio, which I'm talking on. I was just overwhelmed. I'm very happy that they did that. This is what I use to run the different nets there. That's for sure.
Sounding good tonight. Audio is clean or deviation, it's a working. I hope I sound as good. With that, I better get out of here. It's a little after 10 o'clock. Want to check the news? And you have yourself a fine evening from number 24 check-in. N9NQD, we're clear.
This is K9GCR, the Friday Night Fun, and the K9 RFD Revere and Robert transferring with Friday Night Fun, temporary report. Yeah, if I said number 24, no, you're 25. Justin, K9FEO is 24. Okay, Art, thank you for checking in. We'll talk to you next Friday night.
Real fine.
Well, let's get number 26. Are there any more stations you want to check in? Please call now.
KC9GCR, K9FLO.
K9FLO, hello, Dean. I almost forgot about you. And you're not late. The net is still going on. So, okay, K9FLO. What's going on with you, Dean?
Hi, Jimmy. Good evening to you and everybody else out there. It's Friday. I think still happy Friday. Not much. Had a busy evening. I was down in Rockford down to our local club and having dinner and all that good type stuff. So anyway, almost missed it here, but I figured better late than never, and I won't tell anybody. So anyway, how's the net going? How many checkers? Did you say I'm number 26 there, Jimmy?
Yes, you're correct. You're number 26. I have not even done my honorary check-ins as of yet. But you see, well, actually, we started 3 minutes late because of the Rotterdam Radio Association had their monthly on-air meeting on this repeater. So they went a little bit past 8 o'clock. I told them, don't worry about it. It's Friday night. Nobody's going anywhere. You keep your meeting going for as long as necessary because the net can always wait.
That's true. Not only that, that is part of the hobby. So that's good. Yeah, well, you got to do what you got to do. And, I'm glad everybody's finding a way to get on the air through these interesting times. I know we've been doing the video virtual for the last, year and a half, I guess now. And that's worked out good. So, each club figures out how to do it, what works best for them, and hopefully we'll be able to get away from this and go back to having regular meetings. But I tell you what, it just seems like things are looking good, then suddenly we're set back a few paces there. KC9GCR, K9FLO in North Suburban Roscoe.
Okay, sounds good. You'll be happy to know that Kurt KE9N was on the air tonight. He checked in.
Oh, very good. My neighbor, down the hill. Well, he's no longer down the hill to me. I think we're on the same hill now. How about that? What was he using to get on the air? Did he have an antenna up there, Jimmy? Go ahead.
He had an HD connected to his ground plane and antenna.
Okay, well, very good. Yeah, well, I'm pretty good about that, getting something going to get back on the air. I don't know how he standed on his HF. Last I'd heard he was working on a mag loop to try to get back on HF, so I haven't, in fact, I haven't talked to him actually Wednesday. I think it was last time I had a conversation. So I'll have to find out if he's got any technology updates. So very good. And, you know, I just realized that we got a Hamfest coming up in a couple weeks. Are you going to be setting up you going to have a spot there, Jimmy? Go ahead.
No, I probably will not have anything set up there. When my, let's see, when I was in the Belvedere recuperating from COVID, and when they came and sprayed my apartment for bed bugs, they got rid of mostly everything. I don't have that banner anymore. It's gone. So I probably will not be having a booth or anything. So I'll probably just be like everybody else, just go ahead and walk around and look around and meet people, and that'd be it.
Well, you going to wear your KC9 GCR hat?
I'm gonna wear my hat there. I hope they have the booth there where they can make those hats. Cause I lost that yellow one with the black lettering. I don't know what happened to it. If they do, I'm gonna see if I can buy another one to replace that one. I could have the yellow cap and with the black lettering. Like Richard N9ZO did that for me. I think it was back in 2014, or he did that.
All right, very good. I'll have. I think I'll dig mine out and wear that to one time of the year that we can wear it, or at least the local one I go to. That's the only Hamfest I make it to. I haven't been to, well, of course this year has been different than in the past, but used to try to hit the one up in Jefferson, Wisconsin, and then Boone County, but this year we didn't make it to Jefferson. So Boone County's going to be it. Looking forward to it. Be interesting to see what we see out there, and let's hope the weather is good. The last time I was at Boone County, which was the last event, it rained the whole time, and it was just absolutely miserable. So that wasn't one of the more enjoyable Hamfests, but it's not the first one I've been to that's happened. So no question tonight there, Jimmy. KC9 GCR, KNF Local.
Yes, sir, it was. In fact, Larry, K9KGT suggested this topic. Otherwise, I was not going to have a topic at all. But I was going to say, with Belvedere coming up, they say you're the new ham radio operator or a young ham. You're looking to buy your first piece of equipment. He just suggested what kind of equipment should a young ham buy first to get a station set up.
Interesting. I think in this day and age, it obviously depends on the license you get. I certainly would grab a 2-meter 440 rig to get going on this frequency, because you have opportunity to meet all your locals then. And then further on down the line, you may already be licensed, but didn't go into the HF. Not necessarily a requirement. Certainly go up into the UHF and even go that direction instead. You know, that's the nice thing about this hobby. If you enjoyed this, expand on it and go from there. One thing nice about VHF and UHF, the antennas are small, and you can have a lot of fun on there. But otherwise, you know, certainly on HF, that's a tough call. Back when I got into it, everybody, all you bought was used equipment because you couldn't afford the new stuff back then. But we had one company called Heathkit, so that helped out a lot. And even Allied Radio used to have ham gear, and that was, of course, Allied being in Chicago made it somewhat local. So it's interesting. I think most of the time you'd kind of go after finding the used equipment, because Back in the money was pretty tight then, so you had to get by with what you could, or build it. That was, of course, more in the era when people were able to build their equipment, or whether it be radio or antennas and all that. So, that's interesting question there, Jimmy.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting myself. That's why a lot of people, some of them said, and I think it's true, if you're going to mess around, don't bother getting into this hobby unless you're going to be experimenting. But if you're serious about this hobby, go take your test and get your license. And that's what a lot of some of the hams said. And these are right. They're right, too. So, okay. Dean, I'm going to tell you what. But a pleasure talking to you. We'll probably catch you on the Tuesday night net on the Rock County net. So, I was going to say you're always welcome to check into the Health and Tech net on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because immediately following, you got CW practice with Larry K9KZT. If you want to listen to the Morse code practice anyway.
All right, Jimmy. I'm kind of over the hill on that there. I'll let my computer do that stuff nowadays. Another thing I thought of too is a good thing is have a mentor. When I got into the hobby, I had a mentor, and I was just so amazed by this equipment he had. And he was probably about 5 years older than me, but he lived over in the neighborhood grew up in, and invited me over there. Hey, you want to see all my equipment? He did this back when everything was all tube, and very impressive. That's what got me going into it. But yeah, that's a real good thing to have a mentor to get you through it, and so everything's not totally green. So, all right, Jimmy, take care. Have a great weekend, and talk to you later. KC9GCR, K9FLO.
I had a mentor, yeah. He was Al Rislab, KB9SCW. He was a World War II veteran. He served aboard the battleship USS Wisconsin, both theaters of operation, European and Pacific. He even got to see one of the Bob Hope shows when he performed. Yeah, he definitely helped me. Okay, Dean, thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you next Friday night.
738, Jamie.
Okay, do we have any more stations like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please go now. Okay, let me give you a rundown of all the other nets in the area. The Night Watch net is currently underway right now. It's on the CFMC 443.750 repeater in Chicago with a PL 114.8 plus offset. If you can't get in the repeater, you can get in via the Echo Link. That net runs 7 nights a week. It runs for usually at least an hour, or maybe or half hour, or sometime maybe close to 2 hours. But that's a good net to have out of Chicago. The Lunch Bunch net is held Monday through Fridays from 12 noon to 1 p.m. on the 145.430 repeater in Downers Grove, Illinois. That has a PL 107.2 minus offset. The W9DUP DuPage County repeater. There is a Saturday night fun net which meets every Saturday evening at 9 p.m. on the 146.910 repeater in Milwaukee. That has a PL 127.3 minus offset. You gotta check in a certain way. It's a lot more formal than this one, but that's a good net. The Greene County Aries Races net runs is held every Sunday evening at 7:30 p.m. on the 145.110 repeater in Monroe. That has a PL of 123.0 minus offset. There was no net last Sunday because of the Labor Day holiday. And but let's see, Big Thunder Amps Radio Club net meets every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. on a 147.375 repeater in Belvedere. That has a PL 100.0 plus offset. The Whiteside County Aries group holds its Sunday evening net also at 8 p.m. on the 146.850 repeater in Sterling. That is a PL 114.8 Maya saw set. The antenna is about 300 feet high on the Illinois State Police District 1 radio tower, so you should not have any problem getting to that repeater at all. Monday evening, that either on this repeater or on 146.61, we have the Monday evening rah-rah info net at 7 p.m. And I and Larry K9 KZT shared the duties of net control. I was net control this past Monday, Labor Day evening, and Larry will be net control this next coming Monday. I think I had about 11 or 14 check-ins, so, okay. That is followed by code practice on with the Larry K9 KZT. The Lee County Aries group holds its Monday evening net at 8 p.m. on the 146.970 repeater in Dixon with a PL of 82.5 minus offset. The Kishwaukee Amateur Radio Club holds its Monday evening net at 8:30 p.m. on the 146.730 repeater in DeKalb with a PL 100.0 minus offset. Okay, the first of the two health and welfare nets is held on this repeater at 7 p.m. on the Tuesdays. Larry H9GO, the Rah-Rah Board President, holds this net control, and that is immediately followed by code practice. Also, the Rock County Public Service net meets every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. on the 145.450 repeater and change with a PL 123.0 minus offset. With two nets going at the same time, I try to check in both those nets there. Rick, K9QDP, by chance, are you still on the air? Okay, I guess not. He's been checking in short time for the Friday Night Fun net. He has a North American long wires net on Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. on the 28.390 megahertz, 10 meters upper sideband. I believe he had about 8 stations checking in. That's a good net. By the way, next Tuesday will be a 1-year anniversary of that net. So you tell you more about it in the days ahead. The Ogle County Aries amateur radio net, including Aries Skywarn, holds its Tuesday evening net at 9 p.m. on the 147.165 repeater in Oregon with a PL 146.2 plus offset. The Stevenson County Aries net meets every Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Here in Freeport on the 147.390 repeater with the PL 114.8 plus offset. I've been filling in as net control for that net. I think we had 3 check-ins that night. The Greater Boyd Amateur Radio Club holds its Wednesday evening net at 7:30 p.m. on the 147.120 repeater in Boyd, PL 123.0 plus offset. Then Wednesday evenings here in Freeport on the 147.390 repeater at 8 p.m. we hold our Wednesday evening swap net. Runs from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. to all traffic is handled. I've been filling in as net control. I had 6 check-ins this past Wednesday night. And of course, Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. on this repeater, we got the second Health and Tech net. I'm the net control of that one. That is also immediately followed by code practice. I forgot. Kerry, K9MAP, holds the Rah-Rah CW net at 8 p.m. on 7.117 kilohertz and the 40 meters and the CW portion. I guess he's off here. I was going to ask him how his station's checked in, but okay. Let's see. There is a new simplex net which is started by Chad, WI9HF in Janesville. It meets Thursday evening at 7 p.m. on 146.400 megahertz at the simplex frequency. Excuse me. I regret to say I'm not able to check into that net because of the Health and TechNet and the SaturnNet. And speaking of the SaturnNet, Salvation Army SaturnNet meets every Thursday evening at 8 p.m. on the 147.390 repeater in Freeport from the PL 114.8 plus offset. I was filling in as net control. I think I had about 4 or 5 check-ins last night. Okay, the senile net is held on every day Monday through Friday from 1400 to 1500 hours Zulu, on 14.287 megahertz sideband. Just me, it's net control of that net. It not only takes the check-ins around here, but also the stateside. All right, you're all caught up to date on your local nets. Support your local net control operators, your local nets, your local repeaters. You're a member of any ham radio club. By all means, do support your local clubs. Oh boy, I don't know what happened there. I was on the digital side. I don't know what happened. Okay. Any more stations want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net this time? Please go now. Okay, does anybody have any additional questions, comments, input, or topics you'd like to bring before the net? Okay, I want to thank Dan, N9GCH, the trustee of this repeater, for allowing us to host the Friday Night Fun Net and the monthly rah-rah on-air meetings, and we can't use the 6-1 repeater. I want to run down the list of stations who checked in so far during the net. 89VU, KD9HKX, KD9QDP, H9NW, N9SBJ, H9GO, H9SHG. Well, actually, he checked in on the phone earlier today. W9JTC, KD9MED. Mike was recording this net for future broadcasts on the Facebook page. K9GOL, K9KCT, H9JF, K9MAP, and myself, K9GCR net control. Next, I want to thank, W9GD. The late, great Gene Duncan, W9GD, I'm going to put him down honorary checking. Gary, formerly K9FM, how was that call now? K9EPC, Alan Rochelle, K9N, Curtin Roscoe, haven't heard him in a while. K9 the YI, Scott Monroe, W99WTF, Tom and checks on the Friday Night Fun Net hotline. I don't know if he's in range or not. I don't know if he is within range or not. KD9QDP, K9QD Bravo, Brian, KD9GDY, first time checking the Friday Night Fun Net. K9SBA, N9CNW, K9FBO Justin. N9NQD Art and K9FLO. You got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 26 check-ins. No early bird to check-ins like there was last week. Any more stations want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please go now. Okay, I'm going to read the Amper's code. The Amper is considerate. He never knowingly uses the air in such a way as to lessen the pleasure of others. The Amper is loyal. He offers his loyalty, encouragement, and support to his fellow radio amateurs, his local club, and the American Radio Relay League to which Amper Radio is represented. The Amper is progressive. He keeps his station abreast of science. It is well-built and efficient. His operating practice is above reproach. The Amper is friendly, so slow and patient sending when requested. Friendly advice and counsel to the beginner, kindly assistance, cooperation, consideration for the interests of others. These are marks of the Amper spirit. The amateur is balanced. Radio is his hobby. He never allows to interfere with any of his duties he owes his home, his job, his school, or his community. The amateur is patriotic. His knowledge and his support of station are always ready for the service of his country and his community. That's the amateur's code. As Tony N9ARB always used to say, something to live by not only on the radio, but throughout life itself. Okay, at this time, are there any more stations I'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Okay, I want to thank everybody for checking in. And remember, tomorrow is the 20th anniversary of September 11th. Please, when you do your activities tomorrow, take a pause and remember what this day is, tomorrow is all about and why we observe this day. Terrible thing happened 20 years ago with tomorrow. I was delivering my newspapers that morning. I walked by an apartment. Some of the woman had a Today Show on, and Tom Brokaw was on. He was an evening anchor for NBC Nightly News. I said, what's he doing on there? Then when I got to the second floor, a woman told me about, she said a plane that crashed into the Empire State Building. Well, she meant World Trade Center, but she said Empire State Building. I didn't know what really happened. And I thought, well, boy, toward the end of World War II, a B-25, U.S. Army B-25 bomber crashed into the Empire State Building, killing at least 11 people. I think that was during adverse weather conditions. Then when I got to my apartment, I turned the TV on. That's how I found out what really happened. It was a terrible day. Just like December 7, 1941, when Pearl Harbor was attacked. You thought all about that day back then, too. So, please, tomorrow, remember what the day is all about. Okay. With that, this is the last call for any stations you want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net from anywhere in the region. Oh, just a minute. I got to do my honorary check-ins. Hold on. N9ARB. Tony, our EC in Stevens County, who's in New York. And is better at. Tracy. N9PAB. It's the honorary check-ins. We gotta watch what I do here. Of course, we mustn't forget the Kitchwaukee River Yacht Club south of Rockford. A9 Sugar Fox. Scott, HC honorary check-in. And of course, Belvedere, N9ZO. He doesn't check it down, but he listens every Friday night. All right. N9RPN. Mel. Okay? He's in the, one moment, please. He's in the beautiful Wesley Willows in Rockton. You know what? I gotta get the address here. One moment, please. What did I do with that? I can't. Oh God! I can't let this go. If you haven't sent in Mel a card and letter yet, or a get well card, I sent him one last week. It's Mel Welch, N9RPN, Carol Wesley Willows, room 15D or 15 Delta, 4141 North Rockton Avenue, Rockford, Illinois 61103. Mel Welch, N9RPN, Carol Wesley Willows, room 15D, 15 Delta, 4141 North Rockton Avenue, Rockford, Illinois 61103. He would appreciate hearing from you. Okay. I gotta check in, you know what? I gotta check in, oh boy. W9MSL, Win. HC, our vice president, he's recuperating from his accident. He fell down on his face. He can't talk. Hopefully that was the last report I heard last Friday night when Mel told me about it. Hopefully he's doing better. Okay? Let's see. KD9LOA. Brandon, HC honorary check-in. And John. KD9OVJ. HC honorary check-in. Okay. Gotta do a couple more here. Let's see. AC9JZ, Mike, HC honorary check-in. And I'll tell you what, for check-in number 36, we'll put down Kevin. W9KLG, HC honorary check-in. 36 check-ins. Okay? Okay, this is the last call. For any stations who want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net from anywhere in the region with route traffic, please call KSIN-GCR. Last call for Ratchet Jaw. Okay, I want to thank everybody for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. There was a great topic tonight. Thanks to Larry K9KZT. So, okay, with that, this is KSIN-GCR. Tune again next week for another edition of Friday Night Fun Net. Hopefully we'll be back on 6-1. Until then, this is Jim, K9GCR, closing down this Friday, September 10th, 2021 edition of Friday Night Fun Net, to return to repeat the frequency of normal land radio use at 10:35 p.m. Central Daylight Time, 3 hours, 35 minutes Zulu time, with a grand total of, let's see, 26 on-air check-ins, 10 honorary check-ins with a grand total of 36 check-ins. This set is now closed and the repair is now open for normal land radio use. 7-3s, everybody. This concludes the Friday Night Fun Net for Friday, September 10th, 2021. 7-3s, everybody. Happy Friday evening to all, and to all a good night. This is KSIN-GCR, be clear. Good night.